So your group members, I will type in the chat there so as not to disturb you. So just keep an eye on the chat. All right. Okay, please go ahead.
Thank you,
I'm starting the counter now. Go ahead.
Okay. Good afternoon, Miss Joanne and all my fellow classmates. Today, my group members, Yet Yin, Jie Yi, Yuki, Yi Hong, and I will be presenting on Samsung Company's annual dinner, which will be held on 25th of December 2021, starting from 6 until 10 p.m. Registration will start at 5:30 p.m. at the Shangri-La Hotel, Kuala Lumpur. The theme of this annual dinner will be Aloha. So why Aloha? Because we want to deliver a tropical nature and a refreshing feel to the attendees, which is totally different from usual working space. In this annual dinner, the dress code that we set for men is Hawaiian shirt and floral dresses for women. Our objective for this event is to celebrate company achievements and let everyone have a great bonding night. We would also like to express appreciation towards everyone for their hard work and dedication. In this event, the invited attendees are Samsung employees and employees that are around Selangor KL branch and also industrial partners. In total, there will be 200 attendees. Shangri-La Hotel is a strategic location because it has high accessibility and also sufficient parking spaces for their customers. Besides that, the restaurant applies sustainable initiative on food with rooted in nature aims, which is certified under the International ISO 14001 Environmental Management Systems. This is our event itinerary. Our event will start at 5:30 and end at 10 p.m. The highlight of the programs include a photo booth where the screen will only appear when someone rides the bike and generates power. We will also organize a Samsung Got Talent live band karaoke session. Besides that, there will be a video sharing session to showcase all the achievements that company got throughout the year. 2 games will be held during the event. Game 1 is a quiz to test and deliver knowledge about sustainability. Game 2 is called Do the Opposite. And lastly, there will be an award ceremony and lucky draw session. I will now pass it on to the next speaker.
So now we will be talking about sustainability issues that might occur during the event. So when event attendees travel to the event venue, they generate carbon emissions. Hence, we introduced a carpooling campaign to help minimize the issue. Attendees that come with 3 passengers or more could participate by taking a group photo with their passenger and upload it to the Facebook page. By participating in this campaign, they can get a benefit such as time off coupons, where employees can get a 1-hour break of work but still get paid. Not only that, we will also put their name on Samsung Hope for Children donation program. The next issue is regarding logistic transportation. The company needs to use the larger and more eco-friendly transportations. For instance, electric and hybrid cars will help reducing the pollution generated as it reduces the usage of fuel. So they can also use renewable resources such as solar power, which has lesser impact to the environment, and find the local supplier which are located within 5 to 10 kilometers radius from the event venue to reduce the distance of transferring the resources. So lastly, the company should take the shortest route to avoid high fuel consumption by planning their route beforehand. Next.
Besides that, decorations used in events often generate large amounts of waste, so we will contact the hotel and take note of those decorations which can be reused. If we really need new decorations, we will use recyclable materials to make them instead of purchasing new ones. Next, oftentimes, people use a lot of tissues to wipe their mouth without considering the amount used. And as an alternative, only napkins will be provided during the event. And as we know, due to the pandemic, face masks are extremely crucial at this time. To encourage our attendees to wear reusable face masks, we plan to organize the Aloha reusable mask competition where the top 5 with the most unique idea wins. Another method is to ask attendees to wear a reusable face mask to the event as one of the dress code requirements. Moving on, to curb food waste issues, we plan to serve sit-down meals which will be served using Guridon service. This is a great way to control the food portion that's being served. To avoid attendees wasting their food, it's important to request for their dietary requirements in the registration process before the event. We will also display signages as reminders to prevent food waste and request for the chef to search for local food sources which are located within 5 to 10 kilometers radius from the event venue. Next, I'll pass it on to Yuki.
Now let's talk about the policy and measurements. Our company adopts purchasing policy by replacing normal hand sanitizer with Green Seal certified hand sanitizer in the event. This is to avoid attendees from using high level of toxic ingredient. Since 200 packs is expected to use 22 bottles of Green Seal hand sanitizer, it is a 100% implementation policy. Next, our company adopts sourcing policy, only select event menu that use sustainable seafood from certified supplier that's stated on the slide. With that, it helps in fish stocks and their habitats recovery, generating less waste, minimizing energy consumption, and reducing usage of chemicals that damage the ozone layer. It is a 100% implementation as the venue is fully using sustainably sources seafood and fish ingredient.
The next policy is under GAG emission. In this event, we adopt non-smoking policy by choosing a non-smoking environment as the event venue. For this policy, there will be 2 certifications. One of it is ISO 26000 for social responsibility and also ISO 20121 for sustainable events. The positive impact of implementing this policy is there will be 0 smokers in the event and also amount of CO2 generated will be reduced. From measurement shows that when there is 0% of implementation, there will be 30 smokers, which is 15% of the overall participants. The total amount of CO2 generated will be 41.7 grams. However, when the policy is 100% implemented, there are no smokers in the event and the amount of CO2 had reduced to 0%. Moving on is the GHG reduction policy, which refers to the increasing of carpooling activity and also the usage of public transportation. This policy will be given certification, which is ISO 20121 Sustainable Events. The positive impact of this policy is the amount of CO2 generated by transportation will be highly reduced. Before this policy is implemented, there are only 5% of the overall attendees using public transportation, and 15 of them are carpooling for arriving the venue of previous events. However, after this policy is developed and implemented, the percentage of attendees using public transportation had increased to 20%, and the percentage of carpooling had also risen up to 65%. The total amount of GHG emission had reduced from 846 tons to 203 tons. Although there is no 100% of implementation, but there is already improvement shown from this event. The last policy for this event is energy management policy, which refers to suppliers utilizing eco-friendly equipment and reduce the use of energy. The certifications for this policy are ISO 5001 referring to energy management system and ISO 20121 for sustainable events. In this policy, the amount of suppliers will be reduced, which helps in lowering down the consumption of diesel energy. Also, due to the travel distance of suppliers is shortened and they will be using electric generated vehicles, the amount of CO2 generated will be highly reduced. True measurement shows that before this policy is formed, the amount of diesel energy consumed by suppliers for each 100 km reaches up to 120 liters and the total CO2 produced reaches up to 47.16 kg. After implementing the policy, the amount of diesel energy consumed had reduced from 120 liters to 40 liters. The amount of CO2 produced had also reduced to 16.45 kg. The policy implementation is not 100% as it is still hard to convince all the suppliers to change their shipping vehicle to electric generated, but there is a huge improvement from the event as well.
Our company proposal focuses on event dimensions such as activities, venue, decoration, and so on. We also think that it is important to analyze the sustainability issue that the event will face and find the best solution to minimize it. With this, we would like to conclude that we want people to enjoy their night without worrying about pollution, damage that they will cause to the earth. Thank you for your time.
Okay, excellent. Well done, Group B. Can we have the questions from Group C now?
All right, Miss. So I'll start with the first question.
Yeah, go ahead.
You all have indicated about the objective, right? So what are the sustainable goals of this event?
Can you repeat the question again?
what are the sustainable goals for this event?
So the sustainable goals for this event is to reduce the carbon emission generated by attendees and also suppliers, and then also reduce the waste and the food waste generated by the event.
All right. And I'll pass to my group mates.
For me, right, may I know why do you guys choose 25th of December as the day is Christmas? So why did you guys choose that day?
The reason why like we choose that day is because like since it's a company at the dinner, so like we think that can collaborate with the Christmas celebration together. So like it's kind of like a 2-in-1 thing.
Oh, but in my mind, like, I will celebrate with my friend and family, like, so maybe I won't participate in the company annual dinner, lah. So maybe it's not that good in my mind, lah, in my opinion. Okay, thank you. And next.
So I will go for the last question. So as this is an internal company annual dinner, so the practices, can it last for long term?
It will be last for long term because the policy will keep improving for the next annual dinner as well. Like every year they will improve in their policy.
Yeah, to add on to that, we will also be sending educational videos to our attendees before the event so that they will understand why we are doing these sustainable goals and everything.
Okay, thank you.
May I have a look at the venue again? At Shangri-La Hotel. Have you identified a space at Shangri-La Hotel that will accommodate 200 people? Did you get my question?
Yes.
The Shangri-La Hotel, they have a ballroom which can fit up which can fit up to 1,400 guests. So we can rent the ballroom for our event space.
So for the Aloha theme, you're going to have it inside the ballroom or outdoor?
Yeah, inside the ballroom.
Oh, inside the ballroom. Okay.
Yeah.
What about the temperature control, aircon and all that?
Temperature control will be setting not lower than 24 degrees Celsius. So it's more...
Not lower than 24.
Okay.
All right. So the hotel has agreed to that, yeah?
Mm.
Okay. Thank you very much.